A lot of you folks may not know the entire Jerry story, so we have a video that, it's a short 12-minute video. But guys, this video is so powerful. So let's get it going.
Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know he holds the future, and life is worth living just because he lives. When I went in the Marines, and they taught me to never give up, and God's never given up on me, so I walked far away from him, but he's there and brought me back to him many, many years ago, thank God. That was 1942. I went in November 9th, 1942. You know, I was 15 at the time, and I was about 6 feet and a couple hundred pounds then, and so there's no other service. You know, they're the esprit de corps of the Marines and the traditions and the history, and they've proven themselves over and over in the years. We have a strong motto, you know, can do, make do, but we will do. You know, that's all. I went to boot camp at San Diego, California. We were in tents the entire time we were there. After I came out of boot camp, I wanted to be a raider, and a Marine Raider, which was the elite group at that time. I went to the Raider camp at Jack's Farm, but they changed it the day I went. They changed it to a tank camp, so I volunteered as a tanker. I became a driving instructor, went to Jack's Farm, and a driving instructor in the Marines at 15 in the tanks. But the tanks, my particular company went in, we had the first Sherman tanks, which were medium tanks that the Marine Corps used. And I was in C Company, 4th Tank Battalion, 4th Marine Division, which was attached to the 23rd Marine Regiment.
In the Central Pacific, the Marshall Islands constituted a block in the path of the U.S. drive westward. If that drive was to be successful, several strategically located islands in that group must be seized. At Kwajalein, the world's largest coral atoll, the main objectives were 3 small islands. Roy and Namur, linked by an artificial causeway, were to be seized by the 4th Marine Division.
We went direct from San Diego into combat at Roy and Namur in the Kwajalein Atoll. We wouldn't know that until we were aboard ship on the way, and then they'd tell us. And usually they would end with a prayer, you know. But we would not be, told at all the name of the island or where we were at until we got there. I was a tank commander in combat at 16 on Roy Namur. And our tanks went across the island, and they didn't think we could move that fast. And we got shelled by naval gunfire then because they thought we were enemy tanks. So because of that, we painted, the next battle we went into, Saipan, they painted yellow on the top of them and numbers like the police cars have. They just belabored the devil out of us, and with gunfire, because it was X marked the spot. So we quickly stopped that after that battle. We were infantry tanks, so we went in usually about the 2nd or 3rd wave. Yeah, we were always at the forefront. And we, because we were infantry tanks, why we were in the front, why we had to watch the Japanese would, at that time they had shape charges. They'd run up and slap that shape charge on the side of the tank. Well, because of that, then we put steel I-beams out and then put 2x12 boards over them. So then the shape charge would hit that board. Well, it would make it look terrible, but it wouldn't. And it'd rattle our cage inside the tank, but it wouldn't, it wouldn't blow a hole in the tank. And nothing more interesting than to look out your periscope and see Japanese eyes looking at you, you know. So as a result, we would have a tank behind that would cover us with machine gun fire, which didn't affect the tanks. But it's incredibly hot and sweaty in the tanks, and there weren't any air conditioners or anything there. It was just a confined space of hell. That's as close to hell as I want to come. I've seen a tank commander that they disabled his tank when he was getting out. Well, we're always instructed not to climb out the top, you know, because you're under fire, but there's an escape hatch down the bottom of the tank where you could crawl out from under it, and he got chopped in two with machine gun bullets. There's nothing pleasant about war. We did a lot of combat. I saw a lot of brave men, a lot of foolish men, a lot of courageous men, that went on to their maker. The 4th Marine Division, our final landing was at Iwo Jima. It was the 19th of February, 1945 to the 26th of March, 1945. They thought that we'd probably have about 3,000 casualties, and that'd be it. They had no idea at all that how it was interlaced with caves. And there were 25,851 U.S. casualties. 6,821 were killed in action. 27 medals of honor were earned by our heroes at that time. At Iwo Jima, the only time I cried was when we finished, and I could see all those crosses, all those graves, all those brave young souls gone, you know, and we said goodbye to our friends. So we must never forget, you know, that America is free only because of the heroes that have given their lives for our country. That's one reason I have an annual Iwo Jima ceremony at Leavenworth National Cemetery, where a group of us bought a monument back before they had any monuments for World War II. I went to North China with the 1st Marine Division. I was in C Company, 1st Tank Battalion, 1st Marine Division up there. And then as a tank platoon sergeant, I'd upgraded a little bit. My time overseas in combat in World War II was probably 3 to 3.5 years, yes. And we didn't have this 6 months that they have now. You know, they come back in. We went over. We were over there till the war was over. It was in August of 1946, when I came back. They discharged us very rapidly at that time then, and I realized I only had 2 years of high school, and I needed to get more schooling. So very quickly learned that in the Marine Corps. So as a result, then I went back to accelerated high school veterans courses they had at junior college in Kansas City, Kansas. And then I graduated from there with an associate's degree, and then I went to KU and got a bachelor's degree. I've had a lot of death-threatening things happen. In 1981, I was at Las Vegas Hilton, and I got trapped in an elevator with 3 other folks that didn't make it. I still continue to get surgeries from it. I've had over 400 now, but God has blessed me with years of life, and taught me you don't give up. He never gave up on me, so, and the Marines taught me that too. You just don't give up. I decided that it'd be very rewarding for me to give back a little to the firemen that saved my life, and at the same time make an income. So I got into the fire equipment business, and I've been very blessed with that. I've been very rewarded with the, because the firemen understand I've been fried in the fire, and I don't want them fried. So. I feel that God's greatest gifts are eternal life, of course, and new life. And God has blessed me with 3 daughters who were grown by the time I got in the fire. And I have 7 grandchildren and 13 great-grandchildren. Again, God's never given up on me. I've been blessed with the extra life, and I'm firmly convinced it's so I can share with people that what we have, all the magic and the wonders and the enchantment that is America, if they would just look at it and realize, though, it isn't free. I'm very proud to be American. I'm very proud to be the Corps. I conceive no higher honor or no greater honor than to serve God, country, and the Corps. And I was been blessed to do all 3 of them, and to represent those that aren't here.
Each new victory in the drive across the Pacific was marked by still another burial service and the dedication of another square of hallowed ground, thousands of miles from home. The men who survived felt a very real sense of loss, for a strong feeling of kinship springs up between men in battle for a common cause. The dead would not be forgotten by the men who had fought with them side by side.
Yeah, I'm a Marine, and I will be to the day I die. You know, the last hymn of the Marine Corps hymn is that, you know, if the Army and the Navy ever look on heaven's scene, they'll find the streets are guarded by United States Marines.
Jerry, it has been a while since we've seen each other, but I have to say, it's good to see you, as always. You know, you said in that video that you were graced to be saved by those firefighters, but I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, and from the men and women of the Lake Fire Department, we've been blessed by the services that you provided us over the course of the years. Can never thank you enough. Thank you very much, Jerry Ingram.
You're gratefully accepted, speaking for all the people who aren't here, who's probably passed away because of disaster. God bless you all. God bless you all.
Jerry,
Yeah.
because we love you so much, and because you played such an important part in all of our lives, and our firefighters, we commissioned Orion to create something especially for you that is going to be permanently placed at an Olathe Fire Station. Come on up, take a look at your bench.
Wow. Somebody have to say it. Wow.
Tree, I'm going to read it to him.
The inscription says, Staff Sergeant Jerry Ingram, United States Marine Corps, World War II veteran, active duty, 1942 to 1946. How old are you? Jerry enlisted in the Marine Corps at age 15 and was a tank driving instructor while stationed in Hayward, California. He served as a Sherman tank commander, Company C, 4th Tank Battalion, 4th Marine Division, during World War II in the Pacific, at Guantanamo Atoll in the Marshall Islands, and during the Battle of Saipan, Tinian, and Iwo Jima. He also served as a tank platoon sergeant, Company C, 1st Tank Battalion, 1st Marine Division, in the North China Sea. After active duty, he served for 4 years in the Marine Corps Reserve as an intelligence sergeant with Marine Fighting Squadron VMF 215 while attending the University of Kansas. He obtained a bachelor degree in education in 1952. In 1981, Jerry was the only survivor in a trapped elevator during the Las Vegas Hilton fire. He was one of 400 injured and attributes the minimal loss of life to the training of the firefighting community. This event led to his starting a fire rescue supply company. Presented with gratitude, admiration, and love by your friends and Fish.
All I can say is, wow, God bless you all, God bless the Marine Corps, God bless all of our service when they risk their lives for the lives of others. That's it.
Jerry, I wanted to share with you that I found out just before I came here that our fire chief has approved that this bench will be placed at our new fire training academy that's being constructed north of 135th and Hedge. It'll be the only Class A burn tower in Johnson County, and all firefighters that will be trained through that place will be able to see your story and see the dedication that you had to the fire service.
This picture here was taken at the Commandant's house at the 8th and I Parade in Washington, D.C. a few years ago. Had Max, Jerry there. This is Major General Colonnade. So as the Commandant that night was starting his speech in front of hundreds of people, I mean, it was unbelievable. Wall to wall. It was amazing. Beautiful place. The Commandant starts his speech, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Jerry Ingram yells out, "Say, I want to hear my song!" Oh my gosh, everyone just like froze, looking around. I didn't say it. And the Commandant looks over there, looks at Jerry, and then gives me a stare. I'm like, oh crap. Jerry, please don't do that again. And so the Commandant composes himself and continues on. Just then, even louder, that man right there yells out, "I say, I want to hear my song!" Commandant looked at me, comes around the podium, and he was wearing that short little, really cool Marine uniform. Pulls down his coat. Marines, they all stand up. On me. From the halls of Montezuma.
Hey, so, we're going to sing it. We're going to sing that song in honor, and some of you people don't know the words. So if you could put the words up on the screen, and we'll sing the song, the Marine Corps hymn. But the anchors away. Did you see that?
You got me, darling.
You got the real words out there, Trey? I told you the joke would work. I told you it would work. Okay. That's just like kind of making a man a little bit, okay? And to keep our honor clean, we are proud to claim the title of a United States country. Here we go.
Since you can't come to meetings, the Marine Corps meeting, I have here for you a certificate for being a member of the Marine Corps League for 15 years. There also is a lapel button to put on, and I'm not going to try to do that, because if I did, I have black and blue marks today from trying to help you. If you want to do anything for Jerry, ask first, and if he says no, he means no. Because, as I say, I got black and blue marks, I'm going to show you. But Jerry and I are not old friends. We've been friends for a long time. We've gone to Washington twice to the Commandant's wedding. But we also have something else in common. We were both on the island of Saipan. Jerry was on the east side with the 4th Division, driving the tank, or in a tank. I was on the west side, the 2nd Division, carrying the flamethrower. For some strange reason, we never met each other there. But I have known Jerry a long time, and one of the things about him is he used to sing in his church choir, and if Ed hadn't done the Marine Corps hymn, I was going to do it because that is the favorite hymn of Jerry Ingram. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Max. You got a story? Okay, I'll tell you, we'll put it in the mic. You want to hold the mic? Just, there you go. Thank you. Go ahead, right to Jerry.
Well, Jerry and I met probably 2-3 years ago. So I am a cigar smoker and just happened to be at one of the events, and well, that's what started. Let's not go all my vices. So Jerry happened to sit by me, and I always believe that God puts people in your lives for a certain reason. And Jerry sat next to me, and he was shy that night for some reason, and I offered him a glass of wine. And what did you say to me, Jerry? No. So the more we started talking, we started laughing, didn't we? We had a good time. So I have restaurants in town. Somebody comes up and they said, there's a gentleman waiting up front for you that wants to talk to you. So I come up and it's Jerry. And I will remember this for the rest of my life. Jerry said, you have very few regrets in life, but the one regret he had was he did not share a glass of wine with me. So from that moment on, every month we went to dinner and we would have a bottle of wine between the two of us. And he would listen because, did I give you much time to talk? Never. So I would complain about my customers that were driving me crazy or things that were going on in my life. And Jerry has always been the one that centered me and made me look through God's eyes instead of some of the things that get into your head sometimes, and kind of relaxes me. And so I asked him one time, because he calls outlaw, what do you call it, Jerry? Choke?
Choke and smoke.
Choke and smoke. So I asked him one time, because I smoke, he lets me smoke my cigar next to him, and I said, Jerry, have you ever smoked before? And he said, once. For about a minute and a half when I was on fire. So Jerry has always turned every bad moment in his life into a positive, and he has always helped me turn those moments into positives, and I am very blessed to call you my friend, my boyfriend, and one of the most important people in my life. So thank you for everything you've done for me and helping me make my mind go different ways.
Well, God bless you, Dee. You supported Trish so much here. You and your company have. It's amazing what people don't know what you've done. God bless you for it. And may each of us walk out here happy and smiling tonight.
Really sorry I couldn't be there tonight. I'm down at Deer Camp, getting things done down here. Wishing to be there for you tonight. I just wanted to tell you I love you, brother. You're my hero. Men like you are the reason I wanted to become a United States Marine, and I'm proud to follow in your footsteps. My favorite memory, Jerry, I had the honor of escorting Jerry and Max to Washington, D.C. Last year. And my favorite part, the funniest part, my job was to get Jerry's walker out of the trunk of the rental car and bring it up to the driver's door, or the passenger door, to help Jerry out. Well, the first time I tried to help Jerry out of the vehicle, he punched me. I could do it myself. So from then on, I just kind of let Jerry do his own thing, get himself out of the vehicle. I just brought the walker over for him, locked it. A couple days later, we're getting out of the vehicle, and I brought Jerry's walker, and he was getting out of the car. And this lady looks at me, and says, "Aren't you going to help that old man out of the vehicle?" I said, "Ma'am, if you want to get punched, by all means, you come help him. But I'm going to tell him to do his own thing."
Hey, God bless you, buddy. Take care.
So Jerry, first off, let me say it was an honor to make that bench for you.
Oh, it's amazing.
There for generations for people to look at. Not only makes me feel good, but it's, I'm honored that I was asked to do that for you. 2 years ago, we did a trip to DC to raise some money for fish. Our goal was to raise enough money for one service dog. We actually raised enough money for 3 service dogs on that trip. I think there was, 17 of us total that went out there. We raised just over $20,000 on that. This picture right here is from us at the plaza at the World War II Memorial, and it was a life-changing experience. We made a wreath, just basically called everyone to attention, honored Max and Jerry, who were both there to be there with us, which was an honor in itself. And then something amazing happened. Basically, the whole plaza shut down. Everyone stopped and basically formed a reception line to greet Max and Jerry. I have a good friend of mine that works in the White House daily. Been to the plaza numerous times and said he's never seen that happen. Angel Flight takes guys out there all the time. He says he's been there when they're there. Never has he seen something like that happen. So it was an honor to stand on that sacred ground with you guys, and I'm so thankful for that. And I'm glad to see the young people that were there, that came up to greet you and talk to you, to hear your story, because that's what keeps that flag waving. Thank you both.
I'm going to get a video queued up here in just a second. And because we have one of those generals that was there that night, that you yelled out, "I want to hear my song." He's got a little message for you. But, yeah.
Good afternoon, Staff Sergeant Ingram. I'm Major General Ted Banta, Commander, Marine Corps Installations Command.
And I'm Sergeant Major Charles Williams, also at MCI-Com.
Jerry, you probably don't know us, but we've heard a lot about you from our friend Paul Chapa and the team at Fish. And we wanted to take a moment to recognize and thank you for your service to our Corps and the nation.
We're here in front of the Marine Corps War Memorial in Arlington, Virginia, which, as you know, depicts the flag raising on Mount Suribachi on Iwo Jima, and is dedicated to all Marines who've worn the cloth of our Corps in defense of the nation.
But it's not that often we have an opportunity to recognize one of our World War II Marines who served not only on Iwo Jima, but also at the Roy Namur Islet, on Kwajalein, on Saipan, and Tinian, 4 of the toughest and bloodiest battles in the Pacific Campaign.
Jerry, we know you joined our Corps 78 years ago today, 19 November 1942, when you were 15 years old. After the Pacific battles, you went on to command Tank Platoon Sergeant in North China with the 1st Marine Division. You survived all that and came home to the United States in 1946, were honorably discharged from our Corps. Along the way, you earned multiple campaign medals, 3 Presidential Unit Citations, the China Service Medal, and several individual medals, to include 3 Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medals and the Combat Action Ribbon.
Jerry, we also know that your service didn't stop there. After surviving an elevator fire in Las Vegas in 1981, you started a company that supplied equipment to the various fire departments across the country. On behalf of the Marine Corps firefighters at all of our bases and stations, thanks for your support to the fire and rescue community. By the time you see this, Jerry, we will have paused to celebrate the 245th birthday of our Corps. When we do so, we reflect on our heritage and the legacy that's passed down to us by those who've gone before. You represent that heritage, and we're honored to thank you today for the legacy you've passed down to us. Today's Marines stand on your shoulders as we fight the nation's battles, and we're inspired by your courage and selfless service as a Marine.
And while we can't be there in person, we'd like to wish you a belated happy birthday, Marine.
Hey Jerry, happy birthday, Marine. And from all of us, Semper Fidelis. Hoorah!
Don't forget to lick the sword. That's right.
So with the tradition of the United States Marine Corps birthday ball, the guest of honor gets the first slice. Max will serve the first slice to Staff Sergeant Jerry Ingram, 95 years old, enlisted in the Marine Corps on 11/9/1942. That's Marine Corps age, right?
No, I was,
You're 93, but you're 95 Marine Corps, right?
Are you feeding this too?
They have to kiss the roots.
That's yours.
Stand to kiss him.
Max,
Max, you have to kiss him now.
According to tradition, the oldest Marine, Staff Sergeant Max DeWeese, who's 99 years of age, enlisted in the Marine Corps on January 15th, 1942. He will pass the cake to the youngest Marine, in this case, officer candidate, school graduate, Alexander Wynn.
You don't know his name?
No, I don't. Who took the oath 11/27/2017 and will be commissioned second lieutenant December 29th, 2020, 4 weeks from now.
His dad can't wait.
No, I can't.
I'm sorry, I haven't got mine yet.
You get that cut. You get that piece. That's all yours.
Hey, Max, you get the whole thing.
The rest of it's mine.
You're all right. Give him the anchor.
I think that colonel's handled mine before.
Thank you.
All right.
The rest of you are invited to share with my cake.
Yeah, just a very, very few words. I want to thank all of you here who represent what is good in America. You love your country, you take care of it, you share yourself, and you share yourself with other people. Go with God, and we hope that this virus is over very soon. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Jerry.